Hey crafty babes, it's Andrea and I am so excited to share how far I've gotten on my December daily album. I have already shown you my album prep and my pre-December stuff, so I'm going to skip right to December 1st. So let's see, we've gone over these and I believe this is where we ended up. The next one that I did actually we're still pre-December, but not too much. So this is on the 30th. So I used just a gossamer blue insert from the December Memories kit, and I did all kinds of layers to talk about a little walk that we took that was cold. So when we got home, I made hot chocolate. And I just had so much fun with the colors and the layering here. It was kind of out of my comfort zone because I'm not really ready for the traveler's notebook thing, but I don't know. I kind of dug this when I was done with it. And on the other side, I basically just flipped the card this way and kind of made the layout as if you were looking at it from here. So, you know, that way, even though it's sideways in the album, it still feels like you could just turn your head here and everything's still in the right direction. So here is day one. I made it super simple and just used a couple of cards up here to talk about kind of what day one was like. Used a number and called it a day. Day two was this photo of myself. I have really busy September, October, November, and December at my work, so I had to just focus by putting my headphones in and so that I wasn't distracted with all the other things, because it really takes me out of my thoughts, and my thoughts for my job specifically are lots of threads. So I can't, it's not like I just do something and then I'm done with it. It's like everything I do kind of dominoes into other things, and so just a lot goes into it. So headphones were like saving my life. But I made kind of an interesting wish list just regarding kind of work, because even though it's not the happiest part of December for me, it's a very stressful section of my life. It's still part of what I have to go through. It's still part of December. So I do like to document that in some way. This is it, really. And so this is about as much detail or complaining that I do within my album. So day three was a capture of my son and our dog. And, you know, he's a teenager, so he avoids the camera. And I was able to just ask him, hey, can you just stay right here and just don't look at me? And he complied. So that was really nice. And here I made my own card, actually, because I couldn't find a yellow that I liked what was on it. So I just used, this is from Illustrated Faith, this yellow. It's one of the background pages from their 6x8 paper pad. And I just used the stamp in one of the Advent kits to make this card. It basically just stamped random sections of the numbers because they're all in a row. So it's not like I had to stamp these individually. They're all in a row 1 to 25. And then I used the piece stamp to just make a little extra boldness out in the corner here. And that was fun. And then this turned out to be one of my absolute favorite layouts that I've made so far. And it turns out that because Marshall now wears this blue hat, I'm using a lot more blue in my album than I had anticipated. But also this photo didn't help that. Like, I was thinking, okay, well, I'll just make some photos black and white or ask him to take his hat off. But then, you know, we watched the Polar Express and the photo that I picked was blue, but it was really awesome to be able to just like pick the blue color and just run with it. Just go black and white and add the blue, which turned out to be really super fun. On the other side here, I just added a trimmed down photo, and all these things here are actually from the Gossamer Blue December Memories kit. And then these letters and numbers, when you see these are from Fancy Pants Designs, And then this one here, this button flare is from Paper and Spool. But it's nice to be able to just use kind of random sizes. And this one really worked out well. I was able to trim the photo down and still get an idea of what he was doing. So I was supposed to be using kind of like a planner in a way, where then I would go back to the week and kind of write things in about what we did as a summary. But I think I kind of am abandoning that. I have not kept up with doing that, and honestly, because of like the detail that I'm putting into my actual layouts, I'm thinking that this isn't necessary. So what I'm most likely going to do, because I want to keep this page, is I'm probably just going to, well, I'll take this off, but I might just end up gluing these together and then doing something here, or just leaving it blank, or just taking a blank card and a blank paper and just gluing it to the back here. You know, I really thought that was going to work out, and I thought that would be easier for me, but turns out that I think because I put it in the back and was going to do it after the fact, that it kind of became like more of a chore and not as creative as I was becoming within my actual layout. So, you know, sometimes you plan for things, they don't work out, and that you just have to adapt. So I think the way I'm going to adapt is just by kind of covering up the calendar and not using it. But here is days 5 through 11. So I had this little bag. Actually, I think my friend Alyssa gave me a few of these when she was visiting, and I thought it was perfect because it's kind of like the chevrons pattern, and my pillows back here were chevron, so it kind of worked out. And then I just wrote him a little note and then put a tab on top and just put it inside the pocket, so that way it didn't take up a whole lot of space, and it's, you know, a little bit more private, but lots of little pieces and clusters and layers, and it was really fun. It's kind of fun to do these more condensed layouts. I really am liking those. So here I'll end up filling this in with some extra cards that I don't use toward the end, but this is day number 6. So just a little journaling about the things that we did for the day, because there was several things. So morning, and then just a little selfie, and then it being starting to get really cold, and something that we did at the store, which is just Marshall wanting to be the scanner. This is a different layout structure that I don't know if a lot of people know exists, but it came in like a variety pack of Simple Stories page protectors, and I've held on to a few of them and use them when I need to do 4x4s, because they're really fun to be able to do like a bigger square photo, and then to just embellish with something along this edge has been something I've kind of enjoyed when I get a chance to use this layout. It's really fun. So on the other side, I did a 4x4 of the boys playing. I totally snuck in there and caught them hanging out together. And then this card here was actually a 4x6, but I trimmed the 2 edges off so that I could fit it in this pocket, because it really just fit perfect, because my Christmas wish, you know, is always just to have the boys have a good relationship. So seeing them just being together naturally and talking about whatever game they were discussing, it just makes my heart kind of happy. So the continuation of this layout is a selfie with me in this dress. I was so happy to have found this dress. Thank you to my friend Jen Hignite, who posted about it. I went to Target as soon as I could and was able to grab the dress because, oh my gosh, buffalo plaid. That's really all I need to say, right? So cute. This is not a favorite page, but it is a page I definitely wanted to make sure I included. So this is my behind my desk at work. I have a little bookshelf, and so I just decorated, but I decorated late, and just because everything is so busy, I was not, I was just not into it at work. I was obviously very Christmassy at home starting from early on, but then I kind of had this idea to just journal a couple of things about making your own magic. So this is a stamp from the stamp set in the Gossamer Blue December Memories kit, and I just kind of listed a few things that help me, make the most of the craziness. So that was fun, just to be able to use the traditional colors too. Day 9 was just kind of a mix of a lot of different things. So Marshall won an award at school, and we watched a movie and got in and out. So I used my typewriter, finally. She's still not fixed, but I decided I really wanted to be able to use her on in this project. It's a perfect way to journal, and this had the typewriter font here, and I just wanted to be able to put something a little different than my own handwriting every single time. So this was fun to use the green and the red and the pink all together, even though this is a really dark photo that doesn't really go. Sometimes not everything can be super matchy, but I was really happy to include this because Marshall's not a big movie guy, and so the fact that he sat and watched this and was so into it, just obviously I needed to document that. The other thing too, which I kind of just realized, but his award that he got at school was for courage, for being himself and not being afraid to just be who he is, and not feel like he has to be like somebody else or conform to what everybody else thinks he should be. And I kind of felt like it was very perfect for the movie, and sitting and watching something that he didn't know anything about, and had no idea if he would like it. He doesn't like to just go along with the crowd. Like, we'll tell him, buddy, you'll really like this movie, and he'll go, well, we all have different tastes, so he was very courageous in sitting down and watching it, and he loved it. Another page that is super fun that I really, really, really had fun making was this late night crafty club. I documented that Corey the Reset Girl did her first live stream of her Friday night club. It's really fun. It was really fun to be able to interact with her and all the other folks that were in the live stream. It was super fun. And then I used this 4x6 card from the Illustrated Faith Better Together December release. So this was a 4x6, and I just punched 2 holes in it, threw it in there because I really liked the way that the colors went together. December 10th, I made super simple. I used the Ellie Studio date stamp there for the month. Just threw on a piece of washi and the numbers. And then this is from Felicity Jane's Hello Christmas kit. And the font from Alex Hunter is just one of my faves. And I actually added the little red star there just because I felt like it needed a little more red on that page. And then just kept it real simple with gray and black. Easy peasy. I'm not supposed to share this on Instagram, but this is this is the boys writing their lists. And so just very simple. I gave them each the same card so they can write their lists on them, and then just decorated a little bit. Marshall got a new game for the computer, so it's, obviously not every page is like share worthy. And I did my best to just get it documented, and that's really sometimes as far as we can go. So the next section will be the 12th through the 18th, but I have not finished the 18th, which is Sunday. So we're going to just get up into the 17th. The 12th is, I'm so thankful that my husband is a creative person also. He is a videographer, filmmaker, so he and my son went out vlogging because my husband's going to make a movie and he wants to do a production vlog. So he started vlogging, and he and Marsh went out and he took photos for me, knowing that I would put them in my album, in our family, family album and the December Daily album. And so it's really nice to be able to get somebody else's perspective. So something that I've suggested before, but will always recommend again, is to ask your family members to take pictures for your albums, because it's not just your perspective, and sometimes it can get boring when it's just you telling the story of what you see. So both my boys have phones now. Marshall doesn't have a phone. He has an old phone that doesn't have data plan. But he has something he could take a picture with, and so does Gibson. So I think that, when our kids have this technology at their fingertips, and our husbands do as well, ask them to contribute. Ask them to take photos of their day or something different that they saw, or their perspective from their classroom or something. That way, it's not just you, and then you're actually getting some really fun perspectives from your kids at different ages, which I've always thought was really fun. So, second sick day for Marsh. He was homesick this day, but feeling in really good spirits, and so they needed to kind of just get out of the house. We just didn't want to spread any germs to classmates, being that, it's winter and everybody's kind of feeling the sickies, including me on the next day. So even though I knew I was coming down with something, we were finally able to do some Christmas shopping together. So we just went out and did everything that we could. And then I came home and just relaxed with some warm chicken bouillon, because that is what I like when I'm sick. And then I had a birthday on the 15th, so wrote a little bit of journaling, and then I included this really cute meme that one of my friends, Regina, posted to my wall. It's so cute, and I was able to use the colors from their dresses to decorate my page here, and it just so happened that the colors I was wearing were similar. So yellows and pinks, and then threw in some blue. And then this is a photo of a drawing that Marshall did for me for my birthday. So I actually just took a photo of it and then made it a smaller 3x4 so that I could include it, and then use my Mega Date stamper. And then this is actually a photo that I took that, if you follow me on Instagram, you'll see this, that I received my light box. I ordered it and it wasn't supposed to arrive until the following day, but it actually arrived on my birthday. So it was super fun to be able to set that up. December 16th is basically a photo of Charlie. So I had this photo, but I knew so a couple things. The first week and pre-December, I printed from Persnickety Prints because it was easy, and I thought that I would be able to just do like a couple of weeks and then a couple of weeks, but I really didn't want to wait that long to be able to develop my photo. So I started just printing at the Walmart Instant Printer in the store, which gave me the photos right away. And that has worked. But a couple of days after my birthday, my new printer arrived. So I got the Canon Pixma 6820 or 6280. I forget what the numbers are. But so now after this, I've been able to print at home, at least for December daily, because it just makes more sense to be able to get them in my hand so that I can work on them when I can instead of waiting. So I unfortunately can only do 5x7s as far as enlargements. I could do 8x10 or I could do an 8x8, but I just wasn't preparing myself for putting a 6x8 photo on an 8x8 page. So I just didn't want to do all the extra work associated with that. So anyway, I had this 5x7. So the point of that whole story was that I have this 5x7 and I couldn't fit a 5x7 in the pocket. So I made it a double layout and used some things that have just been in my Christmas box that needed to be used. And I really had fun with this one because it's really like, I wanted to use the Rockin' Around the Christmas Tree because the colors went really nicely. But then I just made the journaling about how it is the most wonderful time of the year, but we are not rocking around any Christmas trees. We are like chilling and sticking around the house and cuddling and keeping cozy, because it's, that's just what this time of the year is all about for us. So here I just put this on a little bag and added a clear tab. And then on the other side, I slipped in this really fun front of a card and slipped it in here because the size was just right. And then on the opposite side, I did a 6x8 pocket and just threw all of our cards in here. So I will actually end up adding a tab here that says cards so that you can flip to it. I actually might put it on the top because I'm afraid these would slip out. So maybe I'll just secure it on the top that way. And then on the opposite side, or on the next page, is December 17th. So I took this photo of my truck outside. We had frost on the windows, and I took this photo and turned it black and white and printed 6x8. And then on the opposite side was just this list that I made for the boys that morning and the weather. I love taking the screenshot of the weather. And I do have a weather app, but it's got a blue background and the background is really dark. I use the Weather Channel app. But so when I'm going to screenshot or use the weather for my albums, I'll always go to Google and I just type in my city and weather, and then it pulls that up, and it's this nice white background with, with the yellow sun. So it's just a lot cleaner for me. I prefer to do that if I'm going to utilize the screenshot in my books. So that is it. That's what I have for so far for my December daily. I am going to be working hard over this vacation to finish it up, and I will be back with a final look inside my December daily for 2016. If you guys have questions, let me know, and don't forget to subscribe so that you make sure you don't miss any of my flip throughs. Talk to you guys real soon. Bye now.